When I start a painting, I have no idea what it's going to be. I mean, I have an idea about what I'm going to do right now, but I don't know how that's going to fit into the end result or what the end result's going to be. So here I'm just painting these yellow circles. They could be eyes. I like to start with eyes and suggest that to myself. Kind of gives me a point of reference to look at the painting and imagine faces over different areas. But all the stuff you see me working over here is just kind of messes that developed over time. You can tell that was a palette. Like, I'm look off to the right there and you can see globs of paint where I was mixing, and just kind of a mix of chaos and just messing with the palette. On the bottom there you see another palette in the process. And I like to leave all my supplies out so they're all readily available, kind of antagonizing me and reminding me, like, maybe you want to paint, maybe you want to use pencils, maybe you want to use pastels, maybe you want a different brush. Here you see a big part of my process, which is me grabbing areas that I think are interesting based on their colors or marks or inner shapes. So I took the green and I went around this big mass and kind of isolating it from the rest. And I don't try to do anything perfect in the beginning. I just kind of mix and continue to mix. I try to choose a good color, but if it's not right, I either change it completely or adjust it. And here I'm adding a lot more white. You can see a lot more contrast coming in. I love just mixing wet on wet. It just feels so alive, and you kind of get this creaminess between the colors and these gradients and instances that just kind of hold the life of that moment, because you're literally doing it in that moment. It's not overworked. You're just watching it and kind of seeing where it goes and choosing to leave it or push it further based on your reaction to it in the moment. And here I am doing another big grab on top. I thought maybe this would be a good face. Kind of didn't like it, so I took the pencil. I was getting a little crazy here, just going, making marks, making another face, but doing it kind of like a vandal to capture that emotion and that headspace and to let that energy out, because it was literally irritating me. And I think that's a big part of painting, is like, there's like wanting to paint something, but there's wanting to have an experience, and that's what I want more than anything. I want to have an experience while I'm doing it that's unexpected, exciting, engaging, meditative, and becomes intuitive through all this. It feels like I'm following the painting at some point. It's like I'm making choices, but then it's kind of showing what choices it wants me to make over time. And that doesn't happen immediately or all the time, but if you keep going and you keep your headspace working from a position of this idea, this immediate idea, like right now I'm just putting lips on this face. I'm not worried about the whole face or the rest of the painting or how that's going to fit with the rest, or if this face is even going to stay here. It's just like looking and going, okay, this color's good. So I know that even if half of this doesn't work out or any of it works out, I'm still studying and applying a color that's good. And then I, by mistake or on purpose or whatever, or just by happenstance, generally I see, oh, maybe I could use some of that color over here. So you see me moving around. It's like I don't come up with all the ideas at once, and nor do I try to. One will lead to another, trust me, quicker than you think, especially if you learn to get out of your way and just let the experience kind of flow. I mean, that sounds goofy, but you just kind of look around and think of raw beauty. This color goes good with this color. It doesn't matter if it's perfect. I'm just scribbling the mouth in. I'm not masterminding how it's going to be. I put in the expression sloppily and let it kind of form itself and show itself to me. Should it be more happy, more sad? I just kind of test it with dry marks, dry lines. I love a lot of dry techniques. I feel like it gives this worn-in look, and that's something I really love in my work. Some of my biggest inspirations are ancient items, primitive sculptures, primitive masks, and I love not only what they look like and what they represent, but how they age or how they got worn or broken, and just that idea of time in work. And sometimes I change my mind completely of what I'm doing. Like here, you saw me rearrange the order of the wood to just get a different alignment between these pieces. I'm pulling them all into one big piece, or at least that's what I'm thinking right now. And I thought this would make a more exciting body once I capture all this, what was once a palette. And you see me grabbing the legs and an arm, whether you knew that or not, that's what's going on. Here I am painting out the background so I can see what it actually looks like with this body on it. And I didn't try to make the perfect body. I tried to make a crappy body, and sometimes that naivety and purity of just going for it turns out to be the perfect body. And when it doesn't, why try and be perfect right out the gate? I don't even know if this idea is gonna stick once I show it to myself. So I just put it in there quickly and I make readjustments as I go. This is just like idea one to me. It's like, okay, that looked good enough. Now that I'm filling it in, I'm starting to like it. So now I fill it in as fast as I can, and just so I can move back and get a real, view of the piece and the impact of this new element. And here I am mixing up some color again. Can't remember what I was actually going to do next. But even mixing, just watching that happen can be so fun. I try to key into each one of my experiences as a painter, whether I'm applying paint to the painting or mixing it over here on a separate board. It's like, I love watching it just shift from one color to another, and just the globs of paint, and just even the way that looks sometimes. I'm like, oh my God, that's such a pure expression. So, for me, it's how do I enjoy this more and more, and how do I stay engaged? And the more engaged you stay, the more you're paying attention to these finer ideas that become details. Even though you're doing it so haphazardly, you're paying attention to the color being perfect, whether you did that on purpose or not. And that's a great reflection, whether I did it on purpose or not. And realizing that half the time you're just going for it sloppily. Like, again, goofy sword, no perfection, no smoothness, just raw. And does that look better than perfection? It doesn't need to be perfected. You start asking questions rather than demanding, and you let the painting become some part of what it wants to be as much as what you want it to be. It's kind of a give and take between you and the work, and finding that line and running that line is what's most exciting about painting. Like finding things you didn't think you were going to do or know you were going to do, or you knew you were going to do this but you didn't know how it was going to add up to the whole, and now you see some new purpose in that alignment and in that configuration. That's happened part by choice, part by moment, part by influence, and all comes together as an unknown meaning that has some kind of real sureness and truth to it. I just put a little Superman symbol on his chest. I was feeling like he was in a good position. That floating sword, look at him, he's pretty happy looking at it, kind of joyfully in my opinion, and just kind of floating with the sword, not for aggressive purposes, like he achieved it maybe, like it was given to him, like it's there if he needs it, but he's not looking to swing it in this moment. So, I didn't see any of this coming. I was just plotting eyes and plotting maybe a form, and now that form feels more meaningful than it did to begin with, or any of the individual movements. It's this end result that feels, I don't know if it's perfect yet, but it's got a real feeling for me, and I feel like I know this character.